Welcome, you guys. Today, you are in for a treat because we are going to be talking about video success strategies with Jessica Pezold. So if you are ever wondering, should I be using video or will video work, you definitely need to keep listening. Now, if you guys like when I have people like this on to share about their success that they've had using different social media, definitely hit that like button and subscribe so that lets me know that I can continue to make great content like this just for you guys. So you guys, help me welcome Jessica Pezold. Woo woo! Hello, Jessica.
Hey, Joanne. It's great to be here today. Hey, everyone who's watching. Do I need to look at YouTube to see comments?
No, I've got it all inside of here. I got you taken care of, my friend. Okay. I got you taken care of. Yeah. So today, Jessica, who she has her own YouTube channel. It's called JPez Talks. You can check it on out. And
sorry, Joanne. It's actually JPez Tutoring.
Oh, she changed it.
Talks. I did. Yeah. So that people know exactly what to expect when they come. But I do have a few videos that aren't like totally tutoring, but more of them are lately.
Gotcha. Yeah, so she's changed it to JPez Tutoring, so check that out. JPEZ Tutoring. And what you'll see are the different types of videos that Jessica makes and she uses to get the word out there about her tutoring business. Now, one thing that stuck out to me with Jessica, she joined the Jumpstart program, and as soon as I had mentioned, that you could be using these videos, she just created this like out of the gate like video that I was like, wait a minute, like most people don't know this. So she had some background knowledge coming on into making videos. So she was able to use that knowledge that she had to start creating some awesome videos to market her English tutoring business. And now she's also added some math inside of there. She's hired some other tutors and she's growing, and some amazing things are happening. Because when we get book solid, you guys, the next step is either to start hiring other people or creating content and bringing in some additional residual income on the side. So awesome stuff that's happening for Jessica. And so we're just going to start off. If you guys have any questions, feel free to throw them on in there. I'm going to work them on into the conversation that we have. But the very first thing, let's just start at the very beginning. What is video marketing, Jessica?
So video marketing is a way to get people to see and hear you all at the same time. People can watch videos about you when you're obviously not there in the room with them. You can create videos on commonly asked questions. So if parents or students usually have the same types of questions anyway, like how does online tutoring work? Or what does it look like when kids are in class with you online? Well, you can create videos and piece them together and email that to would-be clients. That way they know about you. And of course, another way to use video marketing is you want to be the answer to a question people have, but you also can use SEO so that you make videos on searchable topics. Like I had one that was about this homeschooling curriculum, and people didn't watch that because I posted it on Facebook, even though I did. Most people that watched that particular video were searching for that in, I guess, Google search engine or in YouTube itself. So it's just a way to let people see who you are, because not everybody's reading blogs. Not everybody's really looking at your website. The videos are just showing who you are. And the more you have out there, the more people get to see you and figure you out, and they can start to know, like, and trust you in that way.
Yeah. And that's really like why then video marketing is so important, right? Because it allows people to get to know you before they even have that first interaction with you. That's what I found. And then I no longer am having to compete against prices. Like people are willing to pay a little bit more when they feel like they know, they like you, they trust you, that they think that you're going to be a good fit for their kid. And I think one of the coolest parts, you guys, about video marketing is we get to stand out as a tutor. Every parent wants to choose their tutor. Anytime a parent goes to work with a company, they ask if they can choose their tutor. All right. And they're like, no, like we're gonna set you up with the person that we think is the best for your child and all of that kind of stuff. Like they go around it. You get to show them that you're the best for their child, and then they get to pick you. They love it, you love it, and it's amazing, and you don't have to share the profit with a tutoring company. So I think this is like some of the really awesome sauce when it comes to video marketing. So one of the questions on top of everybody's head is, well, but does it really work? Like if I invest all this time into doing it, does it really work? And you mentioned before that you had this video where you were taking a look at a curriculum, and you did a video that was looking at the pros, the cons, all of that great stuff. And then that actually did lead into a client. Has it led into more clients?
So it's led into a few clients, and not only that, but having video also reminds people of what you do. Like I just had someone reach out today, and it's because I've been posting videos. It shows them, hey, she's still actively tutoring, and it shows people what specifically you tutor, because when they hear words like math or reading or English, they're like, okay, well, can you help with college essays? Can you do that? Well, if you've already made videos about that topic, you can immediately post that, and it's just going to save you time. And so also having videos out there on YouTube can allow people to find them, and then you have information posted below that video, like your website and all of that. So, I had a guy say, hey, I have a kid who I'd like to have, using your homeschool curriculum. And guess what? They had a sibling. And that's great, because then they're open to, once they have one kid and they like you, they think, okay, well, can you also tutor the little brother or the little sister?
Yeah.
And so that's been really fun to do.
And then it's almost like a 2-for-1. Like, how awesome is that? And you just get to work with one family for collecting the payments, and all. It makes it a lot easier. I love that. And when it comes to making those videos, you guys, we found something that's really important. And that is, some people will take a look at a video and they decide within the first 5 seconds if they're going to watch it or not. And they'll click away. So we really want to help you guys really get success with this video whole thing strategy. So Jessica and I on Monday are doing a free webinar where you're going to get to join us and learn how you can get hook their attention in the first 5 seconds so that you can have more people viewing the rest of your video. You don't want people to get to your video and then just kind of like click off. So definitely, if you haven't had a chance to sign up for that webinar yet, Beth is going to put the link inside of there and you'll be able to join. And in fact, I have the link right on over here. So I'm also going to throw it on inside of there. It's called How to Get People Hooked in the First 5 Seconds of Your Video. All you have to do, you guys, is fill out that form. It says name and email and hit submit. And then we will keep you guys up to date on what the login is, all that great stuff. You can add it to your calendar so that you don't miss out. It's at 11 a.m. Central Time. All right, you guys. So let me come on back on over to our regular screen here, and we'll just keep throwing out some questions. And I'd love to know, what kinds of questions do you guys have about video? So, when other people create a video, like a cat video, and it goes viral and that kind of stuff, tutors can get kind of frustrated because their videos aren't going viral like that cat video. What would success be for a tutor with their videos, do you think?
For me, it's just a lot of different things. So one thing is, if you really like creative video, one day you could actually show students, like they have different projects, which is something I'm really interested in getting into. Like if students have projects they have for school, and it could be on any type of content, you could help them do that because they've seen you as a person who's not just qualified, but like you have the wherewithal and you know how to piece together a video, and it can be a really simple video. So, and that another thing is just having you're showing your comfort with technology. And again, it didn't have to be super complicated. You don't have to know everything about the equipment, although that is nice and that's something you can move into if you want. But like having a video that's successful is just one that people are seeing. Sometimes it takes a while. You may have 4, 5, 6, and then suddenly you have 100 views. Then when people start asking you questions, like commenting on that video, or they're sharing it, then they see you as this authority figure on whatever it is you're talking about. Mm-hmm. And so they know that you're not just somebody who's doing tutoring like on the side, or you're not like, you know what I mean? You're not doing it as just like as a hobby. If you really are serious about tutoring, then making a video is just to me, just like a very practical step to take.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it was one of the very first ways that I started getting found online and got students from Australia and from Canada and from all over the world. Video really made that happen. I know it definitely, for me, it wasn't the blogging that made it happen. It was definitely the video that began to make it happen. People got to see who I was and know that they could choose me and reach out to me and that I would respond quickly. And people were surprised by that. Like, oh my gosh, you respond so quickly. Like, well, yeah, like I care about you and I care about you getting, served the way that you need to get served. What are some of the things that you think hold tutors back from making videos?
Making videos is daunting for a lot of people. I think back to even when I was a kid and my parents, they had like those large video cameras. They either like bought them or rent them or whatever they did. And so having a camera around was like a rare thing a long time ago. So my grandparents hated it. They're like, oh, they cover their face. I'm like, no, don't be shy. Like we're not broadcasting this, not the home movies. We don't broadcast that out to the world. So people, for some reason, it's just human nature when we hear our voice, our recorded voice, and we see ourselves talking, we get annoyed with ourselves and we're like, look at that dummy. Like, I can't stand hearing myself talk. But the thing is, you can't really get anywhere successfully without putting yourself out there. It's a little embarrassing, but then you get over it. Then you're like, no, it's fine. It's once you break past that wall, you can do it. And there are ways to get around, like for the shy people. I mean, plenty of introverted people make videos. For the shy people, does that mean you can't do it? You can. It's just you can develop your own style where you're not, always in people's face. Maybe you're more actively showing what you do instead of saying, look at me, listen to me,
Yeah. Yeah.
So just seeing themselves, hearing themselves, and then deciding that they can put the time toward it. I think that's hard for a lot of people, which I definitely understand. You do have to be in the mood to do these things, but once you've learned how to do it, it's like not a sickness, but it's like a kind of addicting. You want to keep going and getting better.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like your first videos, like don't ever be scared, you guys, that your first videos aren't that great. Mine weren't great. I think the biggest thing that we have to get over is just getting on screen to begin with. And the rest of it's going to come with time. So they might not be the most perfect videos that you have that are out there. That's okay. You're going to learn different tips and tricks the more that you do it. And it's in the doing that you make mistakes. You learn what those mistakes are, and then you learn workarounds to those mistakes. And then you learn how to do things better, just like anything else in life that we learn how to do that's brand new. And we have to put ourselves in a position to enable ourselves to be able to learn it. And then once you start doing that, yeah, it becomes easier and easier and easier. Will it be easy in the beginning? Probably not. You'll probably want to retake that shot maybe 20 different times, or like, look, I have like a piece of hair here. You might see that and be like, oh, I'm totally bothered by that. And so like, you want to like move that hair and you're like, okay, I'm going to reshoot it again. And so then you reshoot it again. Or some people make this mistake. They just take one shot and then they post it. And the thing is, like, if you guys ever remember, like, actors and actresses, right? Like, this whole, like, clapboard thing that we see, where it's, like, take 562. And you're, like, laughing. You're like, oh, my gosh, it took them, like, 562 takes to, like, make that one scene, right? And a lot of us, we just want to go right in front of the camera and just talk. And for some of us, that can be a good strategy if you have experience. But if you don't have experience, you really want to map out what it is that you're going to say and get comfortable with saying it, and then worry about all the editing on the backside. There are different things that you can do to kind of edit your video to make it better, and cute things, and intro and outro, like all these little things you'll add as time goes on. For now, just start making videos because it's the only way to learn. So for a tutor that wants to be successful with creating videos, my simple advice for you is, don't judge your video based off of other people's videos. In the beginning, everybody starts with a following of 0. You might only have family members that are watching your videos in the beginning. That's okay. It's okay because you're still learning. And remember, you're not that good usually in the very beginning if this is the first time you've ever done it, right? And so you're going to make mistakes. And so at least the people that love you the most are going to, they'll give you some loving criticism and say, oh, you know, maybe you could try this, or remember you need to look at the camera, or they'll be like, they'll say different things that you didn't even realize, but you can use that as a way to get better for yourself. So in the beginning, you're going to have low views, but as time goes on and you keep creating more and more content, your views should naturally begin to go up. And a lot of us, we want to do that editing, but we're like, I have no idea how to edit videos. What are some tools that you would suggest that people use if they want to be able to edit their own videos?
So that's probably one of the things I should have mentioned as just something that would hold them back, because if they don't know how, they think, oh gosh, I don't want to have to learn that. I'm already learning how to use a document camera or a whiteboard online. I don't know about that. But you can learn it pretty quickly if your style is a simple style. I tend to go a little bit more like over the top because I want to add things to mine and make it engaging and try to make it cinematic, trying to get there. But I'd say, I know you can use free online tools like there's Shotcut, there's WeVideo, and there's like paid versions of these things. But for me, if you have like a MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, any Apple computer, that should already come with iMovie. And that's what got me started using it again. Was I thought, oh, well, let me play around with this, watch some tutorials, and just try to remember how to edit, because I did some of it in college and then I didn't use it when I was teaching. So learning how to edit video, it to me is easier doing on the computer, but all you have to do is once you record something, and if there's weird mistakes in there, editing is your best friend, because you just cut that out, you add information. You can create some images on Canva that you can insert into every video. So as you make a few videos for students and parents, you are starting to do a few things consistently so that saves you time and it helps you be remembered. Like if you always want to promote your website because you're putting new things on there, you drop in an image of the website. So you may have a voiceover and then here's an image of your website, like the screenshot of it from the computer, or some cartoon. Maybe get someone to help create an image and then use that same thing every time.
Yeah, I love Canva. Canva is a great tool to be able to use. As you begin marketing your own tutoring business, you're just going to fall in love with all the amazing features that are in Canva. It is a tool to learn, but as time goes on, it gets easier and easier as well. But you can create really professional looking images right out of the gate. And if you're looking for templates, you guys, you can go to Etsy.com and put in like YouTube thumbnail pictures or, other things like that. And you'll just see like, oh, what would be like a captivating one where I could just add my information on in there, change the colors so it matches my company colors, and voila, yeah. You've got the information that you need for your YouTube video. And some of them, they'll come with like several different types for you just to easily just utilize and bring on into your videos whenever you need to. And I think that's really, really important.
Joanne, I was also going to say, lately I've been trying, some people will make a video, post it on YouTube, but then if you have recorded yourself with your iPhone, which is how most people start, then your video footage is still saved onto your phone if you have the storage for it. So you can actually edit some on the iMovie app. I've actually been playing around with it because I did get some questions from some other tutors about that. So that is doable right now. I'm using that to just make like shortened versions of my videos so that I can post those to Instagram, so that sometimes people will see clips of that on Instagram and they'll say, oh, okay, I'm going to go and watch your whole video. So that's another, I just wanted to throw that out there as another, there's a lot of tools. So I think when people take the webinar, or if they take the video retention secrets course, you're going to have an organized collection of tools and links and things to use. I think it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming when you're just hearing it. You're like, oh gosh, how do I get on board with that? But it's very doable.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like anything else. And here's what I know about all of you guys. You guys are really great at teaching. You know how to teach. You know how to do these kinds of things. You're also a really great learner. So you can learn these kinds of things. You just need somebody to teach you, just like anything else, right? And so take your great teaching and come and join us for the free webinar so you can learn how to do some of these things and be able to be even more seen by the people that you were meant to be seen by, so that you can teach more to the people you were meant to teach. I think it's really important because like video stands out more than just a blog post. And so like if I ever write a blog post, I try to incorporate video inside of there as well, because video is so powerful. It breaks up text. It tells a story. It can help really excite people. I remember one time I told a story about my own journey through reading and my struggle that I had with reading. And, I followed it through. So I didn't just like stop at like I struggled with reading, but like what was the next step? Like what helped me become better? And what are some of the things that I struggled with? I struggled with test taking. I struggled with, kids telling me that I was dumb. I wasn't able to take like a class. I wasn't able to take Spanish class because, other kids were taking Spanish, but because I was struggling with reading, I wasn't allowed to. I even have people inside of my reading class telling me that I was dumb. And it was just like, oh my gosh, like, you're being called dumb by the other kids that are pretty much equal to you, right? and you just feel like you feel lost. And so I was able to share that story, but then on top of it, realize how smart I really was. I ended up graduating 10th in my class from high school. I ended up going to Marquette University. I ended up, getting a 4.0 when I got my master's. And so I'm able to kind of tell my story that, look, while I struggled at this time, there's a solution to the problem and you don't have to struggle forever. These kinds of stories that you can tell using video are amazing. I'm not saying like you got fired from your teaching job kind of story, like that like would decrease your credibility, right? Like don't go there if that happened to you. But how can you connect with your ideal client? Like those kinds of videos will really connect. What are the different types of videos that tutors can make when they're thinking about creating video?
Well, this is one of my favorite things, because I think the first video that a lot of people should make, and a lot of them do, is the welcome to my website. Here's what we offer. Here's my face, that kind of thing. But sometimes that's the one that you have to go back and improve upon later. So I'll say welcome videos one. Another one would be tutorials of how your business works. So if you are a writing tutor and you use Google Drive and you have a live document with a student, sometimes parents, they haven't ever experienced that. And so sometimes sometimes the schools don't show them these things. So you're the one to kind of bring them, into the 2021, you say, well, I've got a video on how that works. And you might have to get parent permission sometimes to show like a student's work, but you can do a screen share, or what am I trying to say? You record the screen. And so that way you do like a little cut, like maybe you have a talking head, like, hey guys, my name is Jessica. Today I want to show you how I actually teach writing online. And then it cuts to just a section of one of your writing sessions where you're giving feedback and that student is responding. That way parents can see, oh, okay, they're not just hearing you talk about what you do, they're seeing it. And they like to see evidence, even if it's just for a little bit. And you may have some parents that really want to watch the whole thing. They like it. Another video would be like a new addition or an announcement. Like when I added math, well, that was something big because I had never established myself as offering math. Like I'm like, well, I don't have a math background, but I have, like, my husband teaches math and I know some other people who do. So they're going to tutor with my company, JPEZ Tutoring. And so I made a video to talk about that. And that way it's like a video announcement. Okay. Mm-hmm. And let's see, what other videos? Just like you could do, one I did was like a day in the life. And I had other people that found me and said, oh, I like your day in the life of an online tutor. A lot of people who teach in the classroom, they also want to tutor. And so they can build credibility about, hey, parents, I teach after school at home online, and here's some videos about that. So videos that prove what you do, that help to spread the word, that they aren't like distracting. Like you can do, I think it's good to make some that do show your creativity. Like you may have to play around with making other types of videos, but the more you recording yourself talking about your tutoring business, the more comfortable you'll be with talking about it in person to people. Because people will ask, they always ask, especially in the States, they're like, so what do you do? And if you don't do something, you're like, I remember when I had no job, like like out of college, I couldn't say anything, that
Yeah.
was the worst. So you have to just make videos when things change, or I didn't mention this, when a kid has a success, if someone did better on the SAT because of your tutoring sessions with them, or if maybe you went to one lady in our tutoring community, they interviewed a student, and that was great because parents are just, they'll eat that up, like, oh my gosh, there's one of the kids she taught, and the kids talking about their experience with the tutor, and it's authentic, that's not a hired actor, because we don't really have those types of connections. Why would you do that? I think that's like a great thing. Interview a parent, interview a student. I need to do
Mhm.
that. I haven't done that
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah. You got to find those parents that are willing to do it. But yes, I think that that is absolutely key. Even just like interviews too, like if you think of like that are great books that are out there for parents, that they could get value out of, you can interview the authors of those books,
Mm.
and it really brings up and establishes your credibility and your expertise and your knowledge and your connections and all of that kind of thing as well. Even product reviews, I find a really helpful type of video to make, because a lot of times before somebody hires you, they are looking at other products that are out there that are going to solve their problem, right? They might be looking for like, well, are there any like reading help workbooks that I could be using? Or are there any kinds of, apps that I could be using to help my child? They're looking up that kind of stuff. So if you do a review of those kinds of things, all of a sudden, again, that gives them the ability to find you because they're already looking for that. They might not necessarily be looking for a tutor, but those also are really great ones that convert. So not every video that you create is going to convert. It might be, you have to think about like, what is your purpose and why are you creating that video? So those are some other types of videos. Oh, unboxing videos. People like to do unboxing. Like if you've got a new tool for your business, you can unbox it and be like, I'm really excited about this. When I got my new computer, I did an unboxing video to share that with everybody. And, what does it look like? How easy is it used right out of the box? Do I have to futz with it a lot, or is it pretty easy to just be able to utilize? Those can be really, really useful types of videos. They're fun and they get lots of views and engagement. So some videos are going to get a little bit more views just because people are typing it in more, and some videos won't get as many views. Like your interviews with your students aren't probably going to get a ton of views because nobody is taking a look at typing in the student's name and like success story or testimonial, but they're great for your website, right? So you have them on your YouTube channel. You can bring them onto your website. You can be, using it as well when you put it into other mediums. So once we create our videos, I know the next step is we have to upload that like into YouTube. Should we bother with using any other place to put our video?
If you want your videos to be searchable, YouTube is the best platform because it's an extremely enormous search engine. I think it's, if not the first largest, like the second largest other than Google, but those two just go hand in hand. So if we Google your tutoring company, anything you've ever made is going to be pulled up. Now, if you're one of the shy people, you can have videos saved to your computer that you only give to parents. Now, that would be okay at first, but it will limit you. So I think it's okay. Like I had videos on Vimeo, and like back when I was doing like stuff for college, that's when I first heard about it. But people tend to do what they're familiar with. So there may be other video platforms, and who knows, in a few years, maybe maybe YouTube will be changed over to something else. So but be ready, be thinking about, well, I want my videos found. Where do most people go? They're going to take the path of least resistance, which is YouTube. That's where
Mm-hmm.
their kids are watching the cat videos and all these other video game videos and all that. So they're going to like that a tutor has posted stuff there for people to find.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the easiest platforms to utilize and use and get found. And when you first upload your video, you have to fill out the information on that video. I've noticed some people, like, they upload a video and then they don't fill in any of the information on there. What are your thoughts about that? How important is that?
So that's the part that when you're learning how to do that with other people, you just get in a rhythm. You have to have a YouTube account, so that's free. And then you can change your setting to where every time you post a video, it will put your website in the video's description box, which is great. And I tell people what I have, and then a little bit about the tutoring business. And sometimes I'll also add a sentence or two about that particular video. When I do live streams, that's different. I'll explain what we're talking about. Those are like a separate category. But in the video, or if you go to the YouTube Studio platform, it'll show you all of your analytics. It'll show you which keywords you put in, that like how people found it, and you'll know, like, you can go back and adjust. So you can make your video private until you're ready to make it public. You can have it be unlisted to where yes, it's stored onto YouTube, but you can send a link out to certain people if they need it. And then later on, you can make playlists of things. Like I have a homeschooling playlist for people, seeking homeschool information. I have a live stream playlist. What else do I have? I have just education, which the bigger that gets, the more I can split that up. And that way, when people come to your channel, the really interested parents or other tutors, if you're helping other tutors, you're working together with other people, then it's all organized. You can find different videos. You can do like tools I use for my tutoring business that always help students. And you have 5 or 6 videos about that.
Yeah. And one of the really, this is like ninja, you guys, totally ninja. If you name your categories based off of a search engine optimization keyword, you can get found, that playlist can get found too as a keyword. And all those videos then pop up, and then people can watch them in succession. So that's another cool tool that you can utilize so that people stay on your channel. You don't really want to drive traffic away from your channel like YouTube will do, right? YouTube just cares about keeping people on YouTube. They don't care about keeping people on your channel specifically. So you'll notice that they're already trying to figure out what you want to watch next and giving you suggestions. But you want to give them suggestions too. So at the very end of your video, tell them what to watch next. And put a link there, because you can link that next video right in there as an end card and get people to watch that next video. So if you've ever seen one of my 5-minute recap videos, you'll see that we're doing that at the end, that you can click on the full interview and be able to see the entire thing if you want to be able to click on that. So that keeps people on your channel more, which then gives you more love from Google and YouTube and all of that great stuff. So what are some of the things that you've noticed tutors struggle with the most when thinking about and starting to create their videos?
Some people cannot think of more than 1 or 2 ideas. They're like, what do I say? And I have so many ideas. Like I today, I just thought of some more. I thought, I could do a video about that. So you're going to have a lot of ideas, or I do, if you're one of those idea people. But if you don't, then tutors need to find other tutors, or you get ideas. You don't copy one another, but you have to write down what are you doing? Like, why are you tutoring? What is your message? How have you helped people in the past? You can really say a lot about that once you get going. And you don't want to be a person who rambles, but I'd say making that list, whether you type all of your to-dos or whether you write them down, is important. And then you can rank them. You say, okay, well, I need the website video. Okay, I need to talk about how the online thing works because parents are confused. Okay, then I'm going to show a tutorial of how to use the Flipgrid, or how I use the bit paper or something like that. And then that's going to help parents. And then you could do your story video, like, hey guys, I used to struggle in math, or I was really terrible at this or a really neat story for like a foreign language tutor would be how they thought, what's the point of learning another language, until they went to another country and had this amazing experience. And then showing what your why is, I think, is really great.
Yeah, absolutely. Those different types of videos can be really fantastic. And we can start really simple too. What questions are people asking you? Think about what questions people are asking you and create those videos. That way, when somebody asks you, you can say, that's a really great question. In fact, it kind of uses a little bit more than just a few sentences, a few words. So I created this video to help answer that. And then they take a look at that video, right? Which is driving traffic to your YouTube channel, which is, getting more people to like, know, and trust you. All that great stuff. All that great stuff is happening. But you can even just start with a tool like Uber Suggest, you guys, and just type in your topic. So if you teach math, I'm going to show you how to find these questions. It's like gold. I'm telling you, you're going to want to see this. So I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see, but let's go on over to Uber Suggest on here. And I'm going to type on inside of here. I'm just going to put in math. So then it loads, it tries to find it. And I'm going to click on this button right here. It says questions. There are 129 questions that people ask. Why is math important? What math is on the SAT? How math is used in everyday life? What math is on the ACT? How many math questions are on the SAT? Why math is hard? How many classes? Now you can see here, look at the volume here. People are literally typing this in to Google. They're typing these questions. This is how many people every month are typing this question. How math is taught. How math is in computer science. What math is on the GRE. Why math is fun. Why math is important essay. These are just some things that you can all of a sudden come on into. Now, if you teach, look at this. What math is taught in 8th grade. That is so perfect if you teach 8th grade kids. Because if you're teaching an 8th grade student, guess what? That's like gold right there. And 70 people are searching for that. And so I think this is really an important place that you can start. Another great tool that you can use if you're looking for questions is Quora. So Quora is Quora.com. Quora is just a question answer social media tool. So I can put in math in here and see what are people typing in for questions about math. So if I put in math, we can find some different questions. What are the possible solutions to this? Here's some different types of math problems people are adding on in there. Math things. Someone who doesn't understand proofs. What's the value of this? And I can even get more specific, like, why don't I go on into, like, let's say algebra and see, okay, what kinds of questions are people asking about algebra? Is there a book where I can find algebra's definition? Why doesn't my teacher give me extra time on algebra 2 tests? I'm failing because I can't finish the tests. Well, that's a problem that you could discuss in a blog post or a video. What's the translation of the quotient of 9 and the sum of the opposite, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But you can see what I mean. Like, there are actual questions that people are actually typing on in where you can find those things. And the more specific you get with, like, your keyword, questions about math, see what pops on up. Why questions about math are so easy. What amazing questions about math or science can be answered. Why are so many coding challenges and interview questions about math? How do I easily answer logic questions about math? Word problems. Let's say I wanted to get more specific and I wanted to go into, okay, I know that my students struggle with word problems. What types of questions do people have about word problems? How would you solve this kind of word problem? What's the best way to solve word problems? So if you have like a strategy that teaches them step by step how to solve a word problem, that could be a useful video, right? What steps should I follow? That seems to be like an ongoing one that people go through. How would you describe your math homework to an 8-year-old? I love it. This is just stuff that people are really like putting on in there that you can utilize and see and get ideas from. So your ideas can come from research. They don't always have to come from like your own thing. Oh, the other thing that you can do, let's say we go to, we put in like word problems. Let's go to Google for a second. Google is fantastic. It has this really great thing. You ever notice that when you type something in, there's like auto responses that come on up? Here you go. I got word problems for second grade, third grade, fourth grade, word problem solver calculator, word problem worksheets, word problem solver app. These kinds of things can help you, like word problem calculator. Is there a word problem calculator? Probably not. But there is a word problem solver app, and the kids are using it. So if you know the name of that app, you could write a review of that app, how kids are using it inappropriately, how it should be used, and how it can actually help them versus them using it the way they're using it to cheat on their homework. So, I mean, there's lots of different things that you can begin to, like, all of a sudden you start getting like new ideas and you're like, oh, I could do a video about that. Write it all down. Write those ideas that you guys have down, because I think this is, it's really going to be helpful for you as you are coming up with ideas and different types of videos and different things that you can do to make, because I think that is number one. Number two is I hate the way I look on camera. Mm-hmm. Number two is I don't even know what to create a video about. And so, I mean, if you can at least like improve the way you look, like show up looking your best as possible, right? Last week I showed up on a video on accident. Like I changed my jazzercise day. So my jazzercise day is used to be Friday, now it's Thursdays. And all of a sudden I'm like looking, like I didn't even look at myself because I usually just dress up on Thursdays because I'm doing my videos. And so I looked at myself last week and I was like, I'm wearing a sweatshirt. I'm like literally wearing a sweatshirt.
Well, some people will like that. You know, some parents will say, okay, that's a relatable person. That's okay too, I think. You don't want every video to be you looking sloppy, but I think it's all right to have, like, don't feel like you have to really make yourself up, because then it won't be fun for you. So you just figure out what works. I put this on, this on, this on. Or people can wear the same thing every time. Like I have just a few, I notice I start wearing some of the same things in my videos because it's like, it's not distracting, or it's just easier, or it looks like professional, but not too stuffy.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You just want to like the way you look. And that's what's most important at the end of the day, is you showing up in a way that you like looking at yourself. You see lots of people that do videos. Like I actually watched this one guy. He creates a video with a baseball cap on backwards every single time. I don't care. His content is so good. I don't care what he looks like, right? So be you, be who you are, but like what you look like. So like the presentation. If you're like, I've got wrinkles that I don't like, put on makeup, right? If there are things that you're going to critique as you look at yourself, there's also things, if you're creating your video inside of Zoom, that you can do to make yourself look better. There's this little app that when you go into the video settings, let me go to my video settings so I can give you the right name. You guys can see it online here. But if you go to touch up my appearance here, you can see that on the screen. It says touch up my appearance. And okay, are you guys prepared to be scared? Prepared to be scared. I'm going to be scared. All right, here's no touch up my appearance. What? You just see like all these like freaking freckles all over the place, and it like drives me nuts, right? But then watch this. Da 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 da. It's like I just put on a fresh coat of makeup. Voila. Magic. So I think that's kind of one of the things too, like just know like what tools are going to make you look a way that is going to make you feel comfortable, and that's important, but don't let that be what stops you from creating great video. What are some tips that you guys that you have, Jessica, for them as they're creating their videos, or different shots that they can take so it's not just like a straight headshot?
So the most important thing to me and to really most people watching your videos would be to make sure you know where the eye of the camera is. Like where's the lens? Like if you start out using the built-in webcam, you know, to look like right up there. Now, when you're communicating with people on Zoom, you find that you're looking at the screen, but you really want to tell yourself, okay, look at the lens, and it's okay to look away sometimes as you're talking, but you don't want to stare like, you know, too much, but you do need to be aware of like, this is where a person's eyes are, right? Where the camera lens is. And then also make sure you're in a place where you can be seen. You want good lighting. So sometimes that's just natural light from your window, or it could be outside if the weather's good, that kind of thing. People need to make sure their office or wherever they teach from, wherever you're shooting from, isn't just a wreck, because I mean, that's just that's personal preference for me. But if I see somebody's room looking like a disaster, that's more like an amateur, like they haven't thought it through.
Yeah.
So those kind of things. So like I spent time making sure like everything looked nice, but you also want to just get into their routine where you have one light to turn on, you have an external microphone, which I eventually bought. You have a few things that are, you don't want to have to think about it too much. You just set up your phone and you look at a few things you wrote down and then you record. You could also find like get like a side image of you talking, or maybe like from the back you can get like your spouse or your child or someone is to say, hey, record me teaching for a few minutes, but doesn't matter what you say, you can be acting it out or the kid could actually be teaching with you, and it looks like this, right? Like from the side you kind of know what I'll look like. They can see your desk if you're willing to show that. So I think doing like a side angle, doing one from the front, and then you could pick like one other place, or like have, if you like books, then you have your bookshelf behind you. Mine are over here, unfortunately, but you just a few go-to things that like you can be excited about, or you decorate your wall and say, this is my studio. So I'm going to be sitting in front of my wall every time. It looks nice and it's not too distracting and it shows what I can do. So
Yeah,
there's
those
a
are
whole
some
lot
great
more,
tips.
but
Oh my gosh, yes. There's so many things that you can do, and I think it's a constant learning process. So if any of you guys are feeling overwhelmed right now and you're thinking, "Oh my gosh, there's so much to think about," remember that we're just throwing out some like quick, helpful, tips. You're not going to apply every single tip on your first take. What you're going to notice is you're going to do something, and then you're going to be like, "Oh, wait, I remember them saying something," and then you'll be able to apply it, right? It's in the doing. Remember that piece, right? It's in the doing. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to find out what those mistakes are, because will people point them out to you? Yeah, people will point them out to you, but don't let that stop you. When somebody gives you feedback, it means you're being seen. The worst thing an online tutor can do for their business is not make videos because somebody gave them negative feedback and it hurt their feelings. You were being seen. Don't let that person stop you from being seen by the people you were meant to be seen by. Not everybody is going to like that I wear a headset when I do my videos. Not everybody is going to like that that somebody else, does their eyelashes a certain way. Not everybody's going to like that, my eyebrows are kind of fading away. I don't care about those kinds of things, right? So like, seriously, there are going to be things that people are going to say. They might feel hurtful for you, but just know this, there's going to be plenty more people that will give you compliments and kudos. And I want you paying attention to that, not the one negative comment that somebody gives you, because there will always be trolls on the internet. There will always be somebody who will try to tear you down. But you know what? They're not building what you're building. You're building something amazing. So keep doing it regardless if people are saying things that are not, that don't inflate your ego. This isn't about your ego, because if you do, that stops you from working with the people you were meant to work with. What do you think, Jess?
I think any negative comment, they're usually poorly written, bad grammar, people who don't know what they're talking about. And if you do get a well-written negative comment, that's great. Like you're nobody until somebody hates you, that kind of thing. So I think that's, you may not get any negative comment for a long time. Like I had a weird one about a video that wasn't even about tutoring. And I told my best friend, I'm like, what are they talking about? It was like, the bird video about removing bird nests. Some people got offended by that, I guess. But I'm like, that's, first of all, that has nothing to do with like the main point of the channel. And then the other thing is that you weren't there for that situation. They were like, why are you bothering your neighbor? I'm like, she wanted me to do that. It was just like, that person doesn't know you, and it's pretty laughable. And anyone else you learn from, like people who are regularly making videos, like other YouTubers I watch, they have plenty of negative comments. And I'm like, how do they keep going? But most of what people write are like, oh, I love your video, this is so great. And most of it's positive. And you may not even get any comments for a long time. That some of my videos don't have much there. It's just they they do speak to people. Sometimes you have to train people to say, hey, don't forget to like. It does feel repetitive, like, hey, watch my video and like, but it's just that if people are seeing your videos, then they're going to remember you more, and thus they'll recommend you for their other students, and tutors will remember you to recommend you. It's all about just having the showing who you are, being authentic, and being remembered for what you want to be remembered by.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you are in control of your video. You can edit out whatever mistakes you make. You can add in a graphic. Like, that's the beauty of working for yourself and not working for another company. Like, another company might, they'll give you no credit for making a video, or they might discourage it, but now you get to.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I love it. And one thing, if you want to be able to get more engagement, is put a question that you want people to answer. Like, what are some things that you've experienced as you have been as you've been creating videos? Or if you've never created a video before, what are some things that are stopping you from making that first video? Type in the comments below. And so then what I can do afterwards, you guys, is I can actually put a place for people to answer that question below this video. So that's what I'm going to do after the video. So starting tomorrow, I'm going to put that question there. If you're watching this on replay, you'll be able to answer that question in the comment section. That will help increase the amount of people then that are seeing it. And by the way, if you do like this video, definitely hit that like and that subscribe, guys.
Yes, like and subscribe, and then to JPEZ Tutoring as well.
Yes. Go check out Jessica's channel, JPEZ Tutoring, and like and subscribe on her page. But don't get hung up, you guys, on the fact that you don't have a lot of subscribers in the beginning. Yeah, they're vanity metrics. They really are. They really are. They can make you feel good. Like, okay, so there used to be this thing, I put it in the email that I was sent out to people about this video. There used to be a way, like in when you uploaded your video and you watched your own video, it counted as a view every single time. So I would like play my video. I would play my video and it would like count as another view. So then I would play it again. It would count as another view. Well, there's so many times you can.
One.
There's only
it's just one.
Yeah, you can't do it anymore. But why was I doing that? It was a vanity metric. It just looked better for me to see, okay, at least 11 people saw this video. And so it really was like, it was a vanity metric for me. And I used to do this other thing where I would go for, like, they have these sub for subs. Sub for subs stink, you guys. And I know a lot of you guys think that, hey, my audience is everywhere. It could be anyone. And so I want everyone to see it. But honestly, those sub for subs, all they care about is you subscribing to their channel. They don't really care about watching your videos. They don't care about watching your content. And they're not going to enjoy your content because it wasn't made for them. They're just looking to build up their vanity number of subscribers. So definitely don't play with any of those tools, resources, groups, any of those things. They also are illegal with YouTube's metrics. Like, if they find out that you are doing that, then they will they'll flag your video. They might take it down, those kinds of things. So you do want to be careful with interacting in that kind of a way. It's just, I mean, at the end of the day, like, what would be the point of that, right? The point is for you to connect with your ideal client, for you to create some great content, for you to be seen, liked, heard, and be able to get a student from it. Natalie is in the house, and she had mentioned that she needs to do better with her videos for her YouTube videos. Natalie, just keep doing it, my friend. Keep doing it. You are going to get better and better with time. I've seen some of them. They're really good. So keep it up. And don't be scared of what other people are going to think of your videos. Here's what I was told a really long time ago from a good friend of mine. What other people think about you is none of your business. And I think it's really important because it's like, look, there are going to be people who like what you do. There are going to be people who don't like what you do. And that's okay. We weren't meant to like everybody. And people will randomly see videos online, and who cares what they say at the end of the day? Just be you. And people are really going to connect with that and respect that. So for those of you guys who want to be able to join us for how to hook your audience in the first 5 seconds of your video so more people will watch it, definitely come join us. Sign up for that. I've got the link inside of there. And we're going to be more of a clear, like step-by-step delineation of how to get this to happen. You guys are going to get to join us. You'll be part of the conversation. So definitely sign up so that you can join us live. I give live prizes at the end, so you definitely want to show up for that. I don't give replays. No prizes for you replay people. Sorry. But those that show up live, they're always prizes. So you definitely want to come join and interact with us and have fun. So thanks for joining us today to learn all about some video success secrets that can help you get seen, found, heard, hired, referred by your ideal clients. Thank you, Jessica, for joining us today.
Yeah, it was really fun. Thanks, Joanne.
You bet. And thanks you guys for joining us, Natalie, Beth, and everybody else who is inside of YouTube and inside of Facebook. We appreciate you guys being here, and we will see you